Hello, this is a Jayleshark and Friends
and Russell
and Russell podcast. And on today's show, we're talking to the Bubble Queen, Donna Toon, aka DJ Toony, aka the Toonmister. That's right. Originally from New Zealand, Donna has been on Phuket working first in hospitality, then as a GM of a beach club where she achieved one of her bucket list, and that was to work with me, Jay Leshark. She's also been a wedding planner, and now she's Phuket's Lady of Lunchtime Radio. She's also done a shed load of work for charities such as a Good Sheppard, and Phuket has been good to us. Super positive chick, and yes, she likes a bubble or two. I love Donna Toon. She's awesome. Enjoy the show. Right, welcome to the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we've got the legend that is DJ Toony, Donna Toon, legend. Donna, hello.
Hey boys, how are you?
Lockdown, bored shitless.
No, Russell, we only did the podcast of positivity yesterday. You've got to be positive. Come on.
No. The podcast of positivity was yesterday.
Okay.
But this one's going to be all shit, is it?
Yes.
No, it's DJ Toony, the legend of lunchtime radio, is in our midst. We have to embrace this. Yeah, you can balance whatever you want to balance, Russell. I don't mind. Donna,
she's in my midst.
Stop it, Russell. This is an audio recording, not a video recording. Although it is video recording, we take the audio, so don't worry.
Claim that the listeners can't see the audio because you boys are obviously having some sort of beard challenge. I feel like I'm losing the beard competition with regards to you both.
I hate it.
It's just laziness.
Laziness? Yours is a bit grey, Russ.
Yeah. I spend a lot of time with Jay.
Yeah.
No,
I understand that.
For some reason, we both decided just not to shave while this Corona-19 virus is going on, which I think is a stupid idea because I hate it. However, on a positive note, I've noticed that mine, I thought it would go quite grey, but it hasn't. It's stayed very nice and dark, whereas Russell's looks awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with that.
He's kind of fairer on the top, though, as well, though. So to be fair, it's kind of flowing through, right?
Yeah.
It's flowing through like the bullshit he talks. Donna Toon, how long? You've been here probably longer than Russell and I. How long have you been in Phuket for?
We've been here 11 years now.
Oh, so not as long. So Russell, you've been 15, yeah?
15, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. When we moved here, we met you boys, and I was thinking about my first memory of you guys was when you did that ridiculous, amazing three-legged race.
You see, now, I'm glad you brought that up, Donna, because Jay and I have been talking about this for a while, and he is dead keen to give it another crack to see if we can actually break the record, which has since been extended, but that's by the by. But I reckon we can do it.
I reckon you probably have forgotten about the massive blisters that you had on the soles of your feet after the 24 hours. How many hours did you end up doing? It was like 18 or something.
17. When you say we had blisters, I think what you actually mean.
Shall I jump in here?
Yes, by all means.
Yeah, so that's your first memory of us, which, it was a horrible experience of walking.
No, December 2011, wasn't it?
It was 2011, yeah, I think so. And then, we walked 17 hours, over 70k.
70 kilometres.
Yeah, and it was, it was a horrible.
Strapped together.
Yeah, the together bit was okay. I didn't mind that. But yeah, no, the blisters, the next day in hospital, I don't know if we have talked about this on the podcast.
You've never really mentioned it, to be fair.
The blister which covered my entire right foot, which also then started coming up over the top. And I don't know how blisters, but they were growing up between my toes and coming over the top of my foot. So I had blisters. going to the hospital to have the second skin removed.
Oh,
One of the worst. I mean, people say that giving birth is painful, and Donna, you've had two, so you probably can say this. But I tell you what, having second skin ripped off a blister, I'm sure that's up there.
yeah, that's pretty bloody painful, boys. But I think you should give it a go again. Like, I remember when we talked about it, Russell was saying that, Jay started to get blisters on one foot, so he was kind of leaning and then caused issues on the other. And is that right, Jay?
Yeah.
I hate you, Donna. This is not supposed to how this is supposed to go. Donna Toon, what brought you
Thanks for joining the podcast.
No, yeah.
Tune in next week.
Donna Toon, DJ Toony, the hero of lunchtime radio. What brought you to Phuket?
Well, as you know, Hubby and I are both hoteliers, and we have been on islands pretty much our whole careers in hotels, and we'd been in the Maldives for about 5 years and loved it. But you kind of it has its path, and we'd started to have kids, and it's not really a place to bring up children in the Maldives, as idyllic as they are. So we were looking for sort of a place that was still island based, but kind of more city like, I guess. And so we moved to Kota Kinabalu, which is in Borneo, because we couldn't get to Thailand. Thailand's a really difficult place to get a job in, so we thought if we move closer, then we might be able to get to Phuket. So we went to KK and we lasted there 10 months, hated it.
Did you climb the mountain?
I did climb the mountain. Did you climb the mountain?
Yeah, years ago. Yeah.
It's cool, huh?
Yeah. I guess it was the same when you did it. So you climb however many hours on the first day, and you camp overnight, get up at like 2 a.m. and do the rest of it for sunrise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty special. That was pretty cool.
Amazing to get right at the top. And boys, you know me, so I love my bubbles. So I had in my backpack, I had like a little miniature bottle of Moet and Chandon. And so,
which is surprising no one.
Exactly. Other champagnes are available though, AJ. And so when we got to the top, we took all our photos of the sunrise and stuff, and then I pulled out the bottle of champagne. But of course, the air temperature and when it opened, it went bang, and everyone that was at the top was like, "What the heck?" So yeah, it was funny.
But Donna,
we drank about
just take that. So Donna, you're a New Zealandish person.
Yes.
So when did you? So I want to go back a little bit further before. So you're obviously you and your partner. Born, where were you born in New Zealandish?
I'm from Christchurch, and Toony is from Auckland. And we both studied at university hotel management, funnily enough, separately in different parts of the country. We didn't know each other then. And we met in Christchurch at a friend's 21st, which is 25 years ago now.
Minor details, who's counting?
What'd you say, Russ?
There's minor details, who's counting?
Well, yeah. Yes, so we met there in Christchurch together, and then we moved to Auckland for my job, and he was working for airlines at the time.
What was he, a trolley dolly?
He originally was, yes. He
Shut
was.
up the front door.
He was, yep. And then he started...
Whoa. Time the fuck out. We are not glossing over that. So, back in the early days, old Toony boy was a trolley dolly.
He sure
Explain.
was. That's when I met him. So I was at university, but working in a hotel, and he had just graduated, and he was working for NZ New Zealand as a trolley dolly.
And how long did you do that for?
He did it for a few years. I want to say maybe 3 years actually doing the tea and coffee and the chicken and fish. And then, he's quite a switched on lad, as you know. So he started into HR and then became base manager and blah, blah, rest of history. Yep.
Right. Okay.
How gay was he at the time?
Well, that's what my brother said. When my brother first met him, he's like, oh my God, your boyfriend's totally gay. He's a flight attendant. He loves food and wine. And
oh, wow. Wow. All right, so you met a trolley dolly. He swept you off your feet, and then you moved into the hotel stuff. So when did you decide as a couple to, because obviously with the hotels, it is very transit. You do move around quite a lot. Did you want to leave New Zealand and travel as part of your togetherness, or what was your kind of your thoughts?
Well, we're quite different, Toony and I. So I grew up in Christchurch. My parents still live in the same house. My brothers all live in Christchurch. We're a very close family, and I had no intentions of even going to Auckland, let alone travelling overseas. But Toony, he, as a kid, lived all over the world. His dad was in the oil business, so he lived in India and Brunei and Singapore and all these places. So he had these dreams of us travelling the world, and thank goodness he made me do it, because we have had an incredible journey together.
So where was the first place that you went to?
We went to Hayman Island in Australia.
Okay, so not too far.
No, not too far. But that was, 2001. And I think, when you speak to a lot of hoteliers around the world, even here in Phuket, there's so many people that have been through that property, because it's iconic in Australia and continues to be iconic, although closed at the moment. That was our first sort of step. And so that was our first taste of island life. And, we loved it.
Okay. So, and in terms of working wise, because the other thing with hotel, were you working in the same hotel, like as a management couple?
Yeah. So we have different skill sets.
Yeah. When it comes to tea and coffee, I know who I'm going to.
So Toony came up through HR and I came up through food and beverage. So we've always worked in properties in those two different places until we kind of reached the Maldives, where we became a GM couple of a property. Okay. But then we split the property in half anyway. He did boats, engineering, HR, and I did spa, food and beverage, housekeeping sort of stuff. So not every couple can work together, and I'm sure you both can attest to that. But, we've done it for such a long time, and we're kind of like-minded people that we just do it. We love it.
Yeah. But there's also, in terms of, the jobs that you're looking for, it's not so much it's limited, but if the job comes up in a particular location and it's just for one of you, it's then a case of, well, what does the other one do? Whereas if you're both involved in the operation, it's a little bit different as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're lucky. Do you want to talk, Jay?
No, he didn't. I was answering Russell's question about, especially with you and the big man. I mean, if he's working hard, you're definitely making sure the bubbles are flowing, and you're checking the bubbles and making sure they're all at the right temperature, every single damn bottle.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like the property that we managed together, our first property in the Maldives was uber luxury, and it only had 6 rooms, and each room had a 65-foot boat with it. But everything was included. You could just come down into the restaurant and help yourself to free flow, whatever you wanted to drink, eat, whatever, anytime you like. And we had some, really high. Go, Jay.
No, I'm just asking. So you worked for Uber before Uber was cool. That's pretty good. So how did it work with the hotel rooms and stuff? I mean, were people just come in and I don't understand how that worked.
Yeah, that's right. They just come in on their boat and take a room, and then we charge them to their credit card. But really, it was a really cool property and lots of high-end people, and working together. We had lots of fun, and to be honest, we probably drank a little bit too much there, and that's where my taste of champagne came from.
It's not just champagne you like, Donna. Anything with bubbles and wine in it. You can be. It doesn't have to be from the Champagne region for Donna.
That is correct.
She does it. She'll get a bottle of Chateau Villaz from Tesco's and just shake it up and put it in a soda stream and put some carbonate in it and stuff.
Not sure about that.
Yeah, when needs must.
I don't know. Maybe in this crisis at the moment where our cash flow is a little bit low, we might be dropping our levels of bubbles.
Yeah.
You'll be all right. So when did you say you went to wherever that climb every mountain? And that was your 10 months, wherever that was. I can't remember, Borneo. And so Huda Baloo. So you went to Huda Baloo and climbed the mountain. And then, so what was the first role in Phuket? Who was the one who got the job here, or did you get it together?
No, so we had just had our second little monster, Oliver. So at that time I wasn't working. So when we came to Phuket, Scott was the opening GM for Parisa up there on Kamala Hill. No, both of you have been up there. And Russell, I was thinking, like when preparing for this fantastic podcast, I remember when you were doing celebrancy stuff.
Yeah, I did a wedding up there, didn't I?
You did. And your mate, who was really lovely, that unfortunately passed away.
Stuart.
Stuart, that's right. So you took over from Stuart. So we had a wedding booked, and you took over from him, and you came to do the pre-wedding chat, and you were looking like you are now, unshaven, and you were shorts and jandals. And I said, I didn't really mean it. I was like, are you gonna on the day make yourself a little bit better than you are now? And I didn't know you then, so I couldn't be like a smart ass.
I remember that. Yeah, far out. And the answer obviously was no. I just rocked up like this for the wedding.
With the Liverpool t-shirt on.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, he's got one suit that he wears for every wedding. I've seen it. It's a nice one.
I think I've got two.
All right, two.
I'm not sure whether you wore a jacket. I thought you just wore a white shirt with an open collar. It's pretty hot up there.
I usually wear a suit with no tie. I refuse to wear a tie.
Yeah. Yeah, so Toony was GM of Parisa, and you boys have both done some work with us up there. Jay, you did some DJing, and Russ, you did some. It's still a beautiful property. We just went there recently, as in November last year or something, for a bit of a girl session, and it's stunning. Such a stunning property, right?
It is nice. I didn't like DJing there so much because of all the stairs you had to lug your equipment up and down. That was the one thing I didn't like about it, and also it was the golf carts were really slim, or not slim. Sorry, what's the word? Narrow. And so I was really worried that especially when it was raining, it wasn't my favourite place to DJ, I have to say. I didn't love it. But I liked Parisa as a whole. I thought it was, because that's where that's where I first met you and Scott, was through that. And then I think the story gets even closer with Donna and I, because when did you move to...
Hang on a minute.
Oh, yes. That's true.
Yeah, because Donna and I worked together very closely at one point.
We did.
You did indeed.
Yeah, so do you want me to explain it, Jay, or would you like to?
Well, it is my podcast, but I guess you are a guest, so we should probably let you tell the story. And I'll interject when you get it wrong.
Yeah, Donna, you start the story, and Jay will bring the truth in later.
All right. Well, I met this amazing guy called Timothy. No, just joking. So part of my role as food and beverage director at Parisa was to help open the beach club on Surin Beach, which at the time was stunning, called Zazada. We all used to hang around Surin Beach, didn't we? Did you see Jade posted the other day some photos of Taste on the beach there? I mean, we all loved it, right? So food and beverage. So I was looking for a general manager to manage Zazada, because I couldn't do both. And Jayleshark came into my mind. Yes. And
at the time that he came into your mind, were you sitting there, third bottle of champagne? I've got a great idea. Was it something like that?
Yeah, no, because and Jay and I have spoken about this, obviously not doing a podcast, but, just personally. I think that Jay and I are quite similar in our characters and our kind of our place in the world here in Phuket. We know a lot of people. We've got a different skill sets, and Jay was my first choice, weren't you, Jay?
No, and I really appreciate it, because at the time I was working for, I just finished with someone. I was working for Ensign Media, or Ensign Media, at the time I was just getting into the Facebook marketing. I just finished working at Up Beach Club.
Oh, yeah.
So that was, I was at Tanya for Up Beach Club. So I was GM there for all of 2 months until they realised that probably paying chefs millions and millions of baht isn't a good idea, and whatever other stupid things they did there. Sorry, Tanya Pura, but you really screwed up on that one, because Up Beach Club was a lovely
stunning
property. It
really
was a great
stunning
property. Anyway,
buying it. Did I tell you that? Sorry to interrupt your story.
Go on.
Scott, me, Andrew, and Paul, we spoke to Steve and Klaus many times. We were going to take over the lease on that property.
It's a beautiful property. I mean, it's still stunning now. They're still trying to sell it. They're trying to sell it now as a private property rather than as a restaurant / beach club. But yeah, so I was working there, and then I was working at Ensign Media, doing Facebook marketing, doing a bit of writing for their magazine, bits and pieces like that. And then yeah, the Toonmister phoned me up and said, Jay, come and work with me at Zazdar Beach Club and set up the coolest beach club in Phuket. I went, all right.
Could have been really cool, right?
Oh,
That was a lovely gear change.
it could have been the greatest beach club in Phuket and this is what happens a lot in Phuket, if owners, and this goes for everyone who's listening who's an owner, let people who know what they're doing do the job.
That's right.
Don't interfere. Just because you're rich and you have got time in your hands doesn't mean that you can do everything. I know you're bored, go and play golf or go and sailing or do something. If you're running a business, and it still happens, You've got to let people who know what they're doing do the job that they can do. It might not be how you think it is, and it might not be right. It might not always be right, and they might make mistakes, but sometimes you just got to let the people do it. And we won't go into it too much, but yeah, Donna and I worked together really closely for the setup of Zazdar. And just as we then had it about to have it running, unfortunately, whatever happened, and it didn't go any further.
No, shame. Beautiful. I mean, the whole of Zealand Beach was stunning, right? That whole strip with Catch and Taste and Diamond and Up and Zazdar. I mean, it's a stunning. Real shame, Jay.
No, it was, and I really enjoyed it. I thought Donna and I would work together really well. Like you said, we are very similar in how we do some things, but we have got a different skill set. And I think they would have worked so well together because, you know, you're much more kind of intelligent in some aspects than I am, many aspects, in fact, and kind of knew the background of the F&B, but I knew I knew about Beach Club, I knew about kind of the lifestyle side of things. And I think together, you know, you would have drunk the bar dry of champagne and I would have, you know, picked up the great music and done all the other stuff. It was a shame because I was actually really looking forward to working with you and working with Scott as well, because Scott was on board at some points, and just I was going to grab that knowledge from you guys, and it's just a shame that it didn't happen. Yeah, it's frustrating actually. It kind of, I don't regret it because. Go on.
How long did the Zazdar thing go on for? Because it was short lived, wasn't it?
Open for about 5 months or something.
Yeah, it got knocked down when the whole of Zealand Beach got knocked down. So, you know, maybe it was whatever, you know, I don't believe in fate so much, but maybe it was, anyway, doesn't matter. But I mean, that's where Donna and I started to fall in love with Donna, and I did go up to Scott and ask his permission to take her. He said yes straight away and actually gave me some money. Quite a lot of money, in fact, to take her away.
He was probably quite keen to get back on the airlines.
Yeah, he was. He wanted to put on some tight trousers and prance around and stuff and sing songs and be fabulous.
Exactly.
Toony, what got let's jumping all over the shop here. You've done so much stuff in Phuket, from your charity work. You're now what? Sorry.
Radio.
Yeah. What got you into because the radio stuff's really interesting. Because obviously both Russ and I were in radio for a long time in Phuket. What was the radio? Tell us the radio story. How did that all come about?
Well, like you just said with you boys doing the radio, that's one of the many things that I love about Phuket is you get to do shit that you would never do in the real world, because you, me and Russ would never be able to be radio stars in the real world.
Well, one of us could be, I think.
Stop it.
Thanks, Jay. I appreciate that. I appreciate the vote of confidence.
No, but it's true, right? You know, you get to do stuff that you would never do. So it was just a fortuitous meeting with our good friend Byron, who runs 91.5. And I met him on a boat trip where we were drinking some lemonades, and he kind of just liked my vibe. And at the time, Chantal was doing that little 1 hour show on the station where she interviewed people like Desert Island Discs. And she was about to go and work at Carter Rocks, funnily enough. and Byron needed someone to take over the show. So I started doing this little 1 hour show, which was, when I think back now, probably pretty rubbish. Yeah, and then it just went from there. I really love it. I love talking to people like you boys do, and I love music. And, you know, we don't do it for the money because we don't get paid. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, I really love it. And it just kind of gives me something for me, you know. So much of our time, as you know, Jay, and you with your puppies, Russ, is given to other things. So it's one thing that I do here on the island that's actually for me.
Donna, what year did you start with Byron?
I was still at Parisa, so at least 7 or 8 years ago.
Okay. And then how long did you do the Byron show for?
I want to say maybe 2 years during DJ Doris's time.
Oh, bless him.
I know, little shit.